You just have to focus on what you really want for yourself, not what society is telling you that you have to be skinnier or you have to look a certain way, but literally just focusing on what you want for yourself and allowing that to be the motivating factor in your fitness journey, not what everyone else is looking for you to look like or whatever box that you're supposed to fit into. Welcome to the Selfish Snob podcast, the podcast for high achieving Latinas who are ready to stop drifting by an autopilot and to start creating a life that actually excites them. I'm your host, Dr. Onaysia Martinez, and I teach women just like you how to step into their purpose boldly, unapologetically, and beyond the expectations of others. You're here today because you've been feeling called to do something more with your life, and you're not exactly sure what that is. Are you ready to figure it out together? Let's get into it. Hi, Nelsy. Welcome to the Selfish Snob podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm
How
good,
you
thank
doing?
you. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to talk to our audience of beautiful ladies who are just looking and dying to hear from you. Um,
Yes.
Nelsy, you are an amazing personal trainer and you definitely have, the looks to show for it. You are beautiful. Every woman that I've seen you train is also beautiful. And it's just so amazing to see the work that you do, as an outsider, kind of just observing everything that you do.
Yeah.
And you really love the work and it shows. So, can you talk to us a little bit about how you got into personal training?
Okay. My name is Nelsy, first of all. I just got on training. It was like 7 years ago, I think. And I started like everyone else. Like I didn't don't know anything about it. Like I just went into it, and I didn't know that I was going to be this for me. Like it changed my whole life. And yeah, I started like a beginner. I didn't know anything until I found Randy, that he told me everything that I know. Um, and I like it, so I try to be more in this kind of thing. Um, and trying to do everything that I can to help others. And it's been good for me, though. It's been a really good.
That's amazing. And what was the moment where you were like, okay, like this is something that I want to do. This is something that I really need to take seriously. Like what kind of brought you into the world of wellness and fitness?
I think it was when I start to see changes in me. Like it wasn't only changes physically, it was on my mind too. Like I feel better with myself. Sometimes you have like um I don't know how to explain to you.
Puede
Uh,
puede hablar en español. Sí, tiene.
¿Puedo hablar español?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sí, es
Ah,
más fácil. Pues,
so a veces tenemos como esa inseguridad en nosotras mismas de
ujú.
que nuestro cuerpo se ve de tal forma y no sabemos cómo cambiarlo, pero yo creo que con haciendo esto de fitness he cambiado mi cuerpo y también mentalmente. Ya no lo veo como solo voy a cambiar mi cuerpo, sino que también nos ayuda a ser más disciplinadas en nuestra vida, ¿verdad? Yo creo que eso es un gran cambio para una persona.
Yeah, so basically, it's a really big change for someone, like mind wise, body wise, just being able to make really big changes within yourself, inside and out.
Yeah.
Essentially, what
Yeah. Mhm.
oh, that's beautiful. So, what do you feel like is the biggest moment where you get that change in the mindset, like el cambio de mente, when you go from like, oh, working on myself is too hard or it's too challenging to being someone that's like, okay, like I love this and I'm ready to make a change. Okay. All right. So basically, when a woman comes to you and she's looking to make a change, she doesn't know a lot about like exercise, she doesn't know a lot about how to move her body, how to be in the gym. And essentially, she comes to you and you work with her in order to get her to a space where she can move her body, she can make those changes. And you're saying that it all started when you were in high school,
Yes.
when you were in high school, and then you met Randy, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Did I miss anything?
No, that's good. You
I'm
got
trying
it.
to spoke English and Spanish for our people that might not know Spanish or might know Spanglish, like most Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, growing up, do you feel like you struggled with kind of like your body and just your body how it is? And did you think about making changes to it? Because you talked about
Hmm.
starting in high school. So was that the time where you were starting to notice that you wanted your body to look differently, or maybe based on like what society standards are? What was the kind of influence behind you wanting to get into the world of body and wellness, like in colegio or high
That's
school?
good. Yeah.
What were the reasons behind that, like, made you feel like you were too skinny? Like, where did that come from? Do you feel like your family? Do you feel like social media? Like, where do you feel like these ideas of like perfection or what Latinas are supposed to look
Mm.
like from for you? Yes, yes. So basically, you're saying the standards that you saw on social media when you were living in Honduras, that women look so beautiful and their bodies were like perfect, and then
Yeah.
you didn't like the way that you looked because you felt too skinny,
Yeah.
basically.
I
Okay.
used to get bullied too.
Aw,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
horrible.
Nobody deserves that.
Yeah.
And I had the opposite experience. I was a little meatball, like super chubby, short, and I loved everything about it. Nobody tell me anything because
No.
I was just like, this is me, take it or leave it, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for me, the kind of body dysmorphia and problems with how I look started more so in middle school, like middle school right before high school. Would you say
Hmm.
like the same? Because you said before high school, it
Yeah.
was feeling that
It's the
way.
same.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much, yeah, same thing. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So, how do you think that, taken from what you said, like with social media, images, and things like that, how do you think that us as Latinas can learn to love ourselves? Not only in the sense where, like, obviously making changes with you is
Hmm.
beneficial, but no matter how many changes we get, right? No matter if we do surgery, no matter if we do personal training, it all comes down to our mindset, right? That's what you said
Yes.
earlier. So, how do you
Hmm.
think us as Latinas can embrace how we look and who we are outside of social media?
Yo creo que todo, como estábamos hablando, viene de nuestra mente. Primero, cambiar, empezar con pequeños cambios. No tenemos que hacer un cambio radical al principio, como hay personas que se meten al gimnasio y dicen, ok, en 3 meses me quiero ver así, o esperan que en un mes van a hacer el cambio completo. Y no es así. Primero se empiezan con pequeños cambios, cambios alimenticios y también tratando de ir más al gimnasio, ¿verdad? Y también no meterse en la cabeza de que para cierto tiempo tengo que estar así. No tiene que ser así. Eso va con el tiempo y también con la disciplina, que es lo más importante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, not making really big drastic changes, right?
Yeah.
Making small actionable changes every day that shapes us into the woman that we want to be, right? That
Yes.
along with discipline and being, determined to become the woman that we're looking to become, right? That's
Yes.
essentially what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like with the work that I do with the women that I coach, it's all about mindset, but all about making really, really big goals small and
Yeah.
attainable. because if someone goes to you and they're like, "Oh, I want to lose 50 pounds by the wedding I have like 2 months from now," it's like,
Yeah, it's like, oh my
"Man,
God.
I know you're good, but come on, give me some slack
Yeah.
a little bit, right?"
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's a really good point. What do you think? What is your take on, like, speaking of drastic changes and really big requests for you? What do you think about the 75 hard culture? Are you aware of the 75 hard?
Like they do like 75 days, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, for example, one would be workout every single day,
Yeah.
twice a day for 75 days. What is your
No, I don't think that's it. Well,
That's
for me, I don't think it's a good idea because maybe you get overstimulate from it.
yeah.
So no, no quieres hacer un cambio así porque te vas a sobrecargar
Mhm.
con lo que estás haciendo. Entonces, es mejor hacerlo paso a paso,
Yeah.
tomar su tiempo y también no tomarlo como que va a ser una tortura ir al gimnasio o
Right.
una tortura comer diferente. Tienes que buscar la forma de que a ti te guste y no tomarlo como que, ok, voy a ir a sufrir al gimnasio. No, no tiene que ser así. Yo creo que es algo que tienes que disfrutar, y no tomarlo como un castigo de porque estoy gordita o porque estoy muy delgada, tengo que ir al gimnasio. No, no se trata de eso. Tal vez por eso muchas personas quit antes de tiempo porque no lo toman como un hobby o como algo para irse a relajar, se puede decir.
Mhm.
Entonces es como así, 2 meses, un mes, tal vez duran y ya, no vuelven a ir.
Yes, yes, it's so common. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
basically, you're saying that when it comes to making these changes, you don't want to treat the gym and like working out and exercise as a punishment or something that you have to do because you don't look the way that you want to look. It's really, it has to be something that works for you. It has to be something that fits into your life and something that you look forward to, because otherwise you're going to do it, for 75 days or whatever. And then you're going to drop it because you're
Yeah.
going to be miserable. You're not going to be enjoying the process, and the whole idea for fitness and wellness is for it to be a lifelong journey, right?
Yeah.
So you're
Yes.
always in that world and always giving that time to yourself. So when we talk about like the discipline and showing up for yourself, what do you think is the most challenging thing for women that have a lot going on in their lives? So like a lot of our listeners might be moms, might be, people that work 12-hour shifts in healthcare. What has been helpful for you working with really, really busy women that don't really feel like they have time, but they're ready to start, spending that time on themselves?
Yo creo que la mejor manera es de verlo como estoy tomando, aunque sea 1 hora de mi día para hacer ejercicio y para cuidarme a mí, porque muchos no lo hacen, es como van con día a día tratando de salir. Obviamente todos tenemos que trabajar y tenemos otras responsabilidades, pero yo creo que lo más importante es nuestra salud. Si no tenemos salud, no vamos a poder trabajar, no vamos a poder ir al gimnasio, no vamos a poder...
Yes.
Yeah. No vamos a poder cuidar a otras personas que queremos. Entonces yo creo que primero, tan siquiera 1 hora al día, creo que es importante. A veces pasamos 1 hora sentados viendo cosas en redes y ese tiempo podemos usarlo para ir al gimnasio y tratar de buscar formas de comer más saludable también. So, yo
Mhm.
creo que eh, yo siempre hablo con mis clientas, muchas de ellas tienen hijos
Yeah.
o tienen sus esposos o tienen, como dices, trabajos que son de 12 horas.
Mhm.
am, pero yo les digo, empiecen con 3 días por lo menos,
Yeah.
3 días a la semana y ahí les va a ir gustando hacer ejercicio y van a querer estar más tiempo acá. Pero no tienen que hacer un cambio de decir, ok, voy a ir todos los...
Mhm. Yeah, I think that you raised amazing point when you said that when we don't focus on taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves first, loving ourselves first, then we can't partake in all of the other responsibilities that we have in our lives, right? Because
Yes.
we are the most important part of our lives, because that's that love and that affection and that care and that time that we dedicate to ourselves, whether it's going to the gym or cooking a healthy meal, or even for some people going to yoga, whatever it is, it's like you have to really be strict about that, whether it's an hour a week, 3 times a week, because then that's going to allow you to be better as a wife, better as a worker or employee or
Yeah.
a daughter or a sister or whatever responsibility that you have. So I love that you said that. I completely, completely agree. And I think, especially as Latinas, it's very hard for us to take that time, right?
Yeah.
Because we're taught since we're born, you have to put your family first, you have to put your husband first, you have to work hard, you have to go to school, you have to get a good education, right? So all of these things are automatically plugged into our minds, but
Yeah.
when we grow up, we realize like we leave ourselves for the end of the day,
Mhm.
right? We leave ourselves for when we don't have anything left, no energy left, and no time left to dedicate to what we really need. So I just want to commend you and thank you for the work that you do, just challenging these women that are so hardworking to spend time, even if it's,
Feminist.
but
Yeah.
you're the one that's there with them and you're the one that's motivating them and encouraging them to take that time and stick with it, because look at the amazing results that they get after
Yeah.
doing that with you, right? So I
Mhm.
just wanted to thank you for that. Um, but next question.
Okay.
So as a Latina woman, as a woman that is in a very noble career, what do you think is the biggest hurdle or obstacle that keeps us from moving forward? So, say that you do have a client that is working with you, and maybe you've been working with her for like 2 months, and then she starts canceling on you, she starts maybe moving things around, starts basically letting all of life's craziness take over the plan that she had to give time to herself and prioritize herself. What do you think is the biggest like challenge when it comes to that? And what is your advice on how to just stay consistent? Because a lot of times, at the beginning of the year, we get all
Everybody's at the gym.
all these clients and everyone wants to sign up, and then like February, maybe March, things start to fall off a little bit. So what do you have to say to that, and what advice do you have to overcome that for our ladies?
Yo creo que todo depende de la mentalidad de las personas. Yo trato de hablar con ellas y decirles, ok, los cambios no los van a tener en un mes.
Mhm.
Van a empezar a notar cambios, sí, pero no van a ser cambios tan notables. Y yo creo que ese es el primer como obstáculo para ellas.
And what is, well, let me just say, so basically you're saying you don't you don't want to you don't want to fall off. You want to be consistent. It's all in your mindset and how you approach it. You want it to be something that you're comfortable with, something that you enjoy, whether it's like listening to music, listening to a podcast, so that you can really stick to this and basically make it your lifestyle. So, when it comes to the end of someone working with you, maybe they were working with you for 3 months, they lost the weight, they feel amazing, but they want to continue to work on themselves and put themselves first. They want to continue to set aside time, but for the workouts, but they don't really feel like confident in their ability to do this on their own. What is your process like when you're ending your um, training with the client, and what are kind of the things that you prep them for in order for them to be successful lifelong?
Yo siempre trato de enseñarles todos los ejercicios y para mí lo más importante son las posturas para
Mhm.
hacerlo. Entonces ellos ya tienen como una base bien estructurada para poderlos hacer solos. La mayoría de personas no lo hacen porque no encuentran esa motivación de ir solos. So, entonces, yo creo que ese es un poquito el problema. Pero yo creo que a veces cuando van como dos, si van dos personas juntas, creo que se motivan más. So,
Yeah,
eso sería una gran recomendación para mí, como que encuentren a alguien que puedan ir al gimnasio y que así si un día uno no quiere ir, el otro lo va a empujar a ir. So,
yeah,
entonces es como un apoyo extra, porque siempre queremos a alguien como que nos esté apoyando un poco en ese sentido.
yeah. I agree. So essentially, in order for you to be successful, you want to have an accountability partner. You want to have someone
Ujú,
that shows up with you, motivates you, and keeps you accountable, keeps you moving forward towards meeting your goals. And you also said that the most important thing for you is to teach women exercises that are focused on having good form and
ajá,
having like good posture during the exercise just to make sure that they're safe with or without
ujú,
you in the long run and so that they can continue doing these exercises and contributing to their overall health and wellness for a lifelong.
ujú,
Okay, I love that. And really quick, if there was anything that you could have done differently when, like, if you look back and you were first starting out, you have, no knowledge of anything, you just have social media and maybe, maybe like a friend or something that works out
yeah.
sometimes. What would you have done differently? And give us a little bit of tips for those of us that are listening that have been wanting to get in the gym but are afraid to go. They're afraid to look stupid or they're afraid to just have all eyes on them. In the beginning, you feel like everyone's looking at you. You feel like you don't know what you're doing,
Mhm.
and it's very, very scary.
Frustration.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, very frustrating, very scary. So, if you look back at how you first started, what are some tips that you can give our ladies that are looking to get in the gym? Yes, yes. There's definitely a lot of people in the gym that are much friendlier than they look. They'll help you out if you have a question, if you don't know how to work a machine. And I think also too that builds a lot of community, that builds
Mhm.
a lot of just positive energy in the gym because at first you're like, oh, I don't feel like going. I don't know anyone there. Everyone's looking at me. Nobody's looking at you. But
No.
you
Nobody cares. Really.
and then you go and you start talking to people, and then everyone's really nice, everyone's welcoming and inviting.
Mhm.
So I think that too, like not only asking the questions, but that also builds relationships and friendships. And then you start to say hi to people in the gym. It just makes you a lot more engaged and feel like you have a place there.
Yeah.
Because there's always gonna be a range of people that are like pro bodybuilders and experts and have been doing this for like 10
Mhm.
years to people that are literally in high school and in their pajamas and
Yeah.
you know
A lot of them.
so I think the biggest hurdle is finding your place and
Mhm.
just sticking with it, showing up, right, and getting to know other people that are on the same path like you said
Mhm.
so that they can motivate you and encourage you to keep moving forward. So that's beautiful. Is there anything else that you want to say to our ladies, specifically our Latinas that might be struggling in this department, or just any advice, any lasting advice that you have for us today, Nelsy?
Mm, otro consejo que les daría es que no se dejen llevar por lo que las demás personas piensen de su cuerpo o lo que digan. Yo creo que el cambio tienen que hacerlo por ustedes mismas y no por alguien más. Tiene que venir primero por ti, no por nadie más. Porque si no, entonces estamos tratando de complacer a otras personas y no a nosotras mismas. Queremos sentirnos bien con nosotros mismas para poder seguir en el cambio. Si lo hacemos por alguien más, no va a pasar. ¿Sabes? Como va a ser como una responsabilidad de que así quiero verme o tal vez me quiero ver más delgada o más gorda, qué sé yo. No tiene que ser así, tiene que ser algo que a ti te guste, el tipo de cuerpo que a ti te guste y no tienes que complacer como un estereotipo en común, que casi todas dicen, ay, quiero estar delgada y musculosa y así. Pero no, cada quien tiene sus preferencias y lo que le guste a cada quien creo que es lo mejor.
Yes. So to everyone, Nelsy saying that you have to do this for you and nobody else, and you just have to focus on what you really want for yourself, not what society is telling you that you have to be skinnier or you have to look a certain way, but literally just focusing on what you want for yourself and allowing that to be the motivating factor in your fitness journey, not what everyone else is looking for you to look like or whatever box that you're supposed to fit into. Just being yourself and being true to yourself.
Yay.
So, Nelsy, where can we find you? Where can the ladies find you if they're looking to make these big changes in their lives?
Bueno, trabajo en...
Yes. So I will be sure to add your not hashtag, your yeah, your ad in the show notes, and then
Okay.
any other social media platforms that you have so that our ladies can easily find you. And yeah, so thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
Nancy. That's
Thanks
all.
to you for inviting me.
Yes, yes, this
I
was
was so
amazing.
nervous.
This was amazing. I will definitely have you back in the future because you have so much amazing advice to give to these ladies. And please check her out. She is amazing. She's a hard worker and she will get you right for the summertime. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for listening to the Selfish Snob podcast. And until next time,
And bye.
thank you for everything. Thanks for tuning in to the Selfish Snob podcast. It was so good talking to you today. Be sure to like, leave a review, and subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode. Check out my website at www.loveyouGirl, that's LUVUGURL.com. Let's be friends. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn at Dr. Onaysia Martinez. And remember, you only have one life, so it's time to start living it a little more selfishly.